Let us put our hands together to invite our eminent speaker, Dr. Devi Girish, a distinguished Kuchipudi artist with over 14 years of performance experience, known for combining academic rigor with artistic excellence. As a co-founder of Atmakalpa Kuchipudi Nityagram, she focuses on teaching and advancing the nuances of Kuchipudi. Notable achievements include being TEDx speaker and panel artist with the Ministry of Culture and receiving the Natya Prathibha and Nritya Vilasini awards. Devi, with a PhD in Kuchipudi, serves as assistant professor at the University of Silicon Andhra, California. Let us warmly welcome Ms. Devi Girish with a huge round of applause.
Namaste everyone, a very good morning to all of you. When I received a message from Ms. Michelle, an invitation regarding TEDx, what came to my mind was the word apricity. So when we are talking about the word apricity, I thought, why don't I start my speech with a question, what is dance? Anybody who wants to answer? What is dance? So as a research scholar, I've always felt that we research scholars don't have an answer to this question, what is dance? Because this is always evolving. But for me, if you ask me, it is timeless, expression and movement, which unites rhythm, body language, and often music to convey emotions, tell stories, and forge connections. For me, dance is more than a practice or a skill. It is the rhythm of my life, my emotional language, that I have started learning dance at the age of 3 and continuing till now. So more than 3 decades that I've been with dance. It's like my shadow. So it is not just a part and parcel of my life. I think I breathe through dance. And it also gives me a lot of physical fitness, as rightly Subhadrama was telling in the morning, that we all have that blessing that dancers that we practice for a long time and then are physically fit and emotionally fit. I think everything has come up with this training of mine through Kuchipudi. So when we think about dance, we recognize it both as an art form and as a cultural practice, a mode of expression that has evolved across societies, historical periods, bearing unique forms and styles. And perhaps more than that, we realize dance is embedded in each one of us. When I say dance is embedded in each one of us, what do you feel or how do you think dance is embedded in each one of us? So in one of my workshops, when I was speaking about dance is embedded in each one of us, the first question that I asked was, if you want to point out somebody, how you point? Or if you want to call somebody, how you call? So if you want to point out, you point out that person over there, can you come over and all. So this becomes our Suji Mudra. You are stuck in traffic and you know that somebody, the other person was the reason for you to stuck in traffic, and you lower down your window and you ask, what happened? That becomes our Alapatma. So in this ways, consciously or unconsciously, knowingly or unknowingly, you are using mudras in your day-to-day life. And if I take the same thing of rhythm, what if I say rhythm is also in us in our day-to-day life? Your heartbeat that goes in a very particular rhythm, your pulse in a particular rhythm. The way you work, somebody who works very fast will be in the rhythm of taka, 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 taka. Somebody who is very slow will be taka, taka, taka. So everywhere you find dance. So dance is something that is embedded in us. Dance often embodies the values, beliefs, and narratives of the society it arises from. In many cultures, dance is integral to rituals and ceremonies, becoming a bridge between the material and the spiritual world. It honors life's milestones and connects with the divine. Beyond this, dance holds a deeply personal resonance for individuals, offering an outlet for creativity, self-expression, and emotional catharsis. In this way, dance is more of a physical activity. It is also a meditation form, a journey of personal growth, and it also invites us to look inward and connect it to the outward, celebrating the boundless richness of human expression. Moving on to the transformative power of creativity. The transformative power of creativity is profound, inspires change, reshapes perspectives, and reimagine the possibilities. Through creativity, norms are redefined, barriers are broken, and individuals and communities alike are empowered to address social questions and to address the problems in the society in very innovative way. A striking example of this is the evolution of Kuchipudi. Many of you must have seen the Kuchipudi performances, like Subhadra ma'am was mentioning about Yamini ma'am. Yamini ma'am is one of the prime Kuchipudi performers of India. So, Kuchipudi was not a female performing tradition in the early centuries. It was a male performing tradition, which was from a group performing tradition, from a particular class and caste of people. And it has been transformed to a female performing tradition over a period of time. So, when we are telling that it has been transformed to a female performing tradition, how could it be transformed to a female performing tradition? So my research, when I was a research scholar, my whole topic was this, that how a technique could be transformed from a male performing body to a female performing body. So the whole thing is not just because of the dance technique. It is because of the cultural, social, political and the geographical changes that has happened over a period of time. So when we talk about the political changes and the geographical changes, one might think why political and geographical thing comes here when we are talking about dance as such or an art form, Kuchipudi as such. The whole scenario of Andhra Pradesh, when Andhra Pradesh was formed as a separate state from Madras Presidency, it was an urge to have a linguistic state of one's own. So it was a geographic bifurcation? No, it was a linguistic bifurcation. So when the state was formed, Kuchipudi becomes the cultural identity of that particular state. That is how the evolution of Kuchipudi from a group performing tradition to the solo performing tradition started. And in this process, we should also understand at that particular point of time, Kuchipudi is so inclusive to have female performers. So between 1950s and 60s, if we look at the history, we understand that not much female performers were accepted in the society. And exactly at that particular point of time, you can see there are many performers coming in Kuchipudi who are the female performers who took the front stage and propagated the form. The transformation of Kuchipudi exemplifies how creativity serves a dual purpose. It sustains tradition while simultaneously redefining its relevance to inspire change within communities and beyond. Historically, art served as a powerful tool to question, disrupt, and reframe the social conditions that was happening at that particular point of time. By bringing in overlooked issues to the forefront, and the challenges that the society faced, art has always been served as a reflection of the society. When we talk about art as a reflection to the society, or when we talk about the societal norms that has been questioned, we should also understand that is a unique power of any art form. Let it be performing art, let it be visual art, that challenges the societal norms by engaging with subjects often considered a taboo. Artists regularly address topics like gender politics, cultural identity, and social justice, mental health, etc. By bringing these topics to the forefront, art amplifies the voices of the marginalized groups, questioning the structures that silence or restrict communities. So basically, if you are looking in a larger than umbrella term, what we understand is art actually represents the underrepresented ones in the society. One particular example of this would be a ritualistic performing tradition that we have in Kerala called Theyyam. Theyyam is performed by the marginalized community of Kerala. It is referred to as an art form of resistance. So when you think about an art form of resistance, what is an art form of resistance? An art form of resistance is something where you have the performers from the marginalized community who are venerated or prostrated as gods for one day when they become that Theyyam. That is the day when they are seen equally in the society. So whenever we talk about Theyyam, Theyyam is an art form that has come through the oral tradition, which actually question the social norms that has been there in the community. When we look at the history of Kuchipudi, there is an incident that has happened in the history of Kuchipudi where, again, the social norms are being questioned. So this one particular incident I would like to elaborate is that, as we have seen, that Kuchipudi Bhagavatars are the storytellers or the kathakars or who move from one place to another. So their performance actually reflected what the society was all about, or what the society was talking, or what is happening in the society. So once they went to one particular part of the village and they saw that there is a landlord whose name was Sammeta Guravaraju, and he was very much harsh towards the people in that particular area, very much atrocious towards the women. And he used to just thrash women, misbehave with the women, and everything was brutally done. The Kuchipudi Kathakars or the Bhagavatulas happened to see this violence that is happening in the society, and they have decided to perform the same or enact the same in the court of the king of Vijayanagara. And they have enacted the same in the court of the king. The king was so very much overwhelmed and shocked to see the performance, and he asked, this kind of an incident can never happen in my place. But then the Bhagavatalas told that there is this particular village where the chieftain or the landlord of that particular village does this. And that becomes a reflection for the king that what is happening in that particular region, which he was never aware of unless and until he saw a performance of that sort. Through such acts of storytelling, art challenges societal norms, expand collective awareness, and encourages open dialogue. Its transformative influence lies in its capacity to question the way things are, inspiring communities to envision a more just and inclusive world. Art as a dialogue between communities. Art plays a crucial role in fostering a dialogue and serving as a catalyst for change within the communities. By creating spaces with people, by creating spaces for people to talk about, to have their reflection, to have the discussion, as well as to bring in diverse perspectives and confront uncomfortable questions. Art encourages open conversations and mutual understanding. So here I wanted to bring in one example which happened very recently in one Surya festival, that there was a production which actually talked about the Kolkata incident which has happened with the doctor. So when the artist was emoting the emotional quotient of what must have gone through, enacting that on the stage along with the orchestra, it brought in a different impact to the audience and to the whole auditorium as such. So when you see the performance or be a part of the audience, you also experience the pain that person must have undergone. The art brings into the forefront to make people understand, to question their certain things, and makes you more courageous enough to be cautious and mindful about what is happening. Art plays power to foster dialogue and inspire change lies in its ability to resonate emotionally with audiences, often leaving a lasting impact that motivates community members to work toward more just, equitable, and sustainable nature. By bridging cultural and ideological divides, art truly becomes a catalyst for social progress. So when the word apricity came, I think that is where the creativity thrives. Thank you.